Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Jacobson. I'm a special education teacher as well as parent of Kaysen Hagerott. We also have with us Bob Jacobson, parent, Stacy Marshall, principal, and Bev Frank, who is a general education teacher. The reason that we're all meeting today is to discuss the outcome of Kaysen's testing. Kaysen took the Woodcock-Johnson test of achievement 4, and let's go ahead and go over those reports. Like I said, Kaysen is a third grade, just finished the third grade. He's a 10-year-old boy, and he will be entering the 4th grade in the fall. Kaysen also participates in Title I in reading and has done so since he has started school. Let's go ahead and get right to the testing scores. Kaysen's broad reading score was in the below average range. Letter word identification, passage comprehension, word attack, oral reading, and sentence reading fluency are the subtests measured in the area of reading. Kaysen was able to identify initial items rapidly and accurately, but had difficulty applying phoneme relationships to latter items. Errors observed in the oral reading subtest involved mispronunciation and substitution. He was able to use syntactic and semantic cues to identify a missing word in a passage comprehension test. This required him to read a short passage and identify a missing keyword that makes sense in the context of that passage. Kaysen performed in the average range. Kaysen showed a definite weakness in sentence reading fluency. This test measures reading rate. The task involves reading simple sentences silently and quickly, then deciding if the statement is true or false. The sentences gradually increase in difficulty. This test is timed, and Kaysen was given 3 minutes to complete this test. He appeared to read sentences rapidly but slowed with the level of difficulty increasing. Oral reading was in the average range, while sentence reading fluency in the very low range. In the writing portion of the test, well, first of all, anybody have any questions on the reading? No? Okay. On the writing test, Kaysen's broad written language cluster included spelling, writing samples, and sentence writing fluency. Kaysen's broad written language score was in the average range. During the spelling subtest, Kaysen was quick to write the words with not much thought. This test produced a score in the low average range. He appeared to be uncomfortable with this test. The writing sample subtest measured the skill in writing responses to a variety of demands and ability. He was to write sentences that are evaluated for their quality of expression. Difficulty increases by increasing passage length, the level of vocabulary, and the sophistication of the content. Kaysen was not penalized for errors in punctuation, basic writing skills, or spelling. Kaysen performed in the average range. The sentence writing fluency subtest measures an individual's skill in formulating and writing simple sentences quickly. Each sentence must relate to a given stimulus picture and must include a given set of 3 words. This test has a 5-minute time limit. Kaysen exhibited a strength in this area. He wrote appropriate sentences at a slow rate. I'm recalling that Kaysen felt more comfortable when he was actually given the words to use in the completion of writing the sentence than if he would just have to think of a sentence on his own. Okay, any questions in the writing area? Anything that I need to explain further? No? Okay, thank you. Let's take a look at his math score. The broad mathematics cluster provides a comprehensive measure of math achievement, including problem solving, number facility, automaticity, and reasoning knowledge. His broad mathematics score was average. Kaysen showed a strength in the applied problem subtest. He solved initial problems with no observed difficulty, but demonstrated increasing difficulty solving the latter items. This is typical. These problems were read to Kaysen, enabling him to follow along. Kaysen scored in the average range. I felt he was more comfortable as I was reading the problems to him. Kaysen was required to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division during the calculation subtest. Kaysen scored in the low average range. He did not always make sure he was using the correct sign when performing the task. He did not complete any division problems. Kaysen scored in the higher end of low average on the math facts fluency. This was a 3-minute time test. He solved the problem slowly. Several of Kaysen's errors were due to not using the correct sign, this meaning addition or subtraction. He did not complete any multiplication problems. Kaysen appeared to be more confident in the area of math. As Kaysen had explained to me during an interview that I had with him, he was more comfortable with math than other subjects, and at times found that math was easier for him, and I think because he felt more comfortable with his math. Kaysen completed the Woodcock-Johnson 4 tests of achievement. After scoring this test, Kaysen would qualify as a student with a specific learning disability in the area of reading, particularly reading fluency. Kaysen's needs would be further benefited by administering the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children 5th edition to explore his cognitive strengths and weaknesses. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm just wondering if I feel that I've explained this pretty clearly, and I do honor any questions that would come my way. Nothing? Okay. So, does a student have a disability according to North Dakota guidelines? Yes. Does the IEP team recommend proceeding to the IEP process? Are we all in agreement that we can further move on with him and start the IEP process? Okay. So the student does not achieve adequately for his age or to meet state-approved grade level standards in one or more of the following areas when provided with learning experiences and instruction appropriate for his age or state-approved grade level standards in the area of reading fluency. The student exhibits a pattern of strengths and weaknesses in performance, achievement, or both relative to age, state-approved grade level standards, or intellectual development. That was determined by the evaluation team using appropriate assessment procedures. Yes. So I think we are all in agreement that carrying on with the IEP will be the best use of Kaysen's skills to be able to learn what he needs to do to further his education and to provide for him as he's needed. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that started, and once we get the IEP completed, we will have another meeting, and I will let everyone know about that next meeting. We'll keep the same team, bring everybody back together again, and discuss the individual education plan or the IEP. Okay? Any questions? All right. Thank you very much.